The forest was supposed to be silent, empty, forgotten. But that night, something inside the darkness begged to be found. A frantic German shepherd dragged Officer Grace Turner deep into the woods, barking like he'd seen a ghost. The mist clung to the trees, the air colder than it should have been, and the feeling that someone or something was watching grew heavier with every step. When Rex suddenly froze before an enormous oak tree, trembling as if it held a nightmare inside its bark, Grace didn't know she was seconds away from uncovering a 38-year-old mystery, one that would break her heart and heal it too.
Easy, boy. What is it? Officer Grace Turner's voice wavered as she followed Rex, the retired German shepherd who had lived with her since losing his handler. Rex had never acted like this, not even during storms, fireworks, or danger during his service years. But tonight he was wild. The barking was relentless, echoing, desperate. Grace slammed her cruiser door shut, the sound bouncing through the fog-wrapped forest road. Her flashlight beam sliced through the mist, landing on Rex, rigid fur standing on end, teeth bared at a massive old oak tree whose branches curled like warning fingers. "Rex, talk to me," she whispered, one hand resting on her holster, the other trying to calm him. But he wouldn't stop shaking. Whatever he sensed terrified him. When Grace lifted her flashlight higher, she froze. There was a lump in the tree, large, unnatural, shaped wrong, covered in moss and thyme. Not like a natural growth, but like something the forest had swallowed whole. A shiver ran down her spine. Rex scratched the bark, claws dragging harshly over the wood as if trying to pull something free. Grace stepped forward, fingertips brushing the rough surface, and gasped. Underneath the bark wasn't wood. It was metal, cold, smooth. Her breath hitched. "That's metal inside a tree?" She backed away, heart pounding, and immediately called for backup. Minutes later, 2 officers and a local fireman arrived, carrying a small cutting saw. The air filled with the scent of gasoline and rotting wood as they carefully sliced into the swollen trunk. Bark peeled away like old skin. Rex barked harder, each inch uncovered, making him frantic. Then clink. Grace dropped to her knees, brushing away debris with gloved hands. Letters slowly emerged through the dirt and rust. Missing since 1987. Property of Elliot Hawkins. Her stomach twisted. She knew that name. Elliot Hawkins was the 10-year-old boy who had vanished from this very forest. 38 years ago, the case had gone cold. His parents had died heartbroken, never knowing the truth. Grace whispered, "It can't be." The lump finally broke apart, revealing a rusted metal box sealed tight despite decades of rain and roots. The tree had grown around it, preserving it like a secret time capsule. Grace opened it with trembling hands. Inside the box lay a decaying red scarf, a wooden toy truck, a faded school ID card, and a folded note sealed in plastic. Her hands shook harder as she unfolded the brittle paper. Her eyes scanned the writing, small, shaky, terrified. "If anyone finds this, please tell my mom I tried to come home, but the man said I couldn't. He locked me here. I heard sirens once. I yelled, but no one heard me. I'm scared. My name is Elliot Hawkins." The forest fell utterly silent. Even Rex stopped barking. Grace felt tears spill before she could stop them. The pain in the words was too raw, too real. A child's last attempt to ask for help. The fireman stood behind her, stunned. "So, the tree grew around it," he whispered. Grace nodded slowly, unable to form a complete sentence. Elliot must have hidden the box before his fate found him. Everyone silently understood. The boy never escaped the forest. But Rex wasn't done. He ran to the other side of the tree, barking sharply, digging at the ground with fierce determination. Grace rushed over. Something white poked through the soil. Small, fragile. Bones. Tiny bones. Grace's hands trembled as she brushed away the dirt, revealing a small sneaker, half buried. The initials EH carved on its side. One officer whispered, voice cracking, "He was right here. All along." Grace dropped to her knees, placing a shaking hand on Rex's back. Tears blurred her vision. "You found him, boy. After all these years. You found him." The next morning, news swept through the county. Forensics confirmed it. The remains belonged to Elliot Hawkins. The note had survived because of the plastic. The box because of the tree. A mystery forgotten by time was finally heard. Again because a dog refused to ignore a whisper from the past. That evening the sun dipped in orange streaks as Grace stood beside the oak tree. Rex sat beside her, leaning gently against her leg. The forest didn't feel heavy anymore. It felt like it had exhaled. You know, Grace murmured, running a hand over Rex's head. Maybe you were meant to lead me here. Rex looked up, eyes soft, almost human. You gave a lost child his voice back, she whispered. You gave a family peace they never had. She placed a plaque at the tree's base, in memory of Elliot Hawkins. Lost but never forgotten. A breeze rustled the leaves softly, and for a moment, just a moment, Grace could swear she heard a faint, childlike laugh drifting through the air, a thank you carried by the forest. As she turned to leave, she bent down and whispered, "Good job, partner." Rex wagged his tail once, and for the first time in decades, the forest was quiet, because the lost boy had finally been found.